Hello, hello. Testing, testing. There's a bit of latency, so it'll come a bit late. Okay, so the sound is all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel. And yeah, I promise this is the last bit of the animation process. It was a 70-hour long animation, so of course I didn't record everything. I didn't have the space for recording it, but yeah. um, I also had to make the entire thing faster so that I can fit within 1 hour and around 1 hour stretch, because it was a really hard work. Like, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. I have talked about it in my other videos, other streams, and yeah. So this is the part where I started coloring, which was really difficult because I did not want the outline of the painting. So yeah, that was difficult in the sense because it's not exactly how I paint it. Animation is completely different from how people paint. So if you don't want outline like that, it it will cost you a lot of labor, to be honest. uh, Another thing was that I started coloring, I realized I needed to add some other stuff, like the kind of the belt. It's not a belt, it's kind of like fin, not yeah, fin, um around the waist. Is it a fin? How should I put it? It's a fancy thing which is part of her tail. So while sketching, a lot of things look different, but while animating, you suddenly realize, no, I need to add other stuff because it doesn't look good while animating. So that's why I also added extra few things while drawing. And as for the color, yeah, it's it was difficult when you colored the outline of the hair, because then the true shape comes out. Oftentimes you feel like when the outline is there, you feel like, oh, it looks a certain way, the shape is in a certain way, but the moment you make it a blob of color with the outline being the same color as the fill, it looks weird. Just like, when you color, right now I'm doing the skin thing. So yeah. And another mistake I made was that I did the outline with the watercolor brush. So when I was changing them to the fill color, it was a bit transparent, because watercolor brushes are a bit light. You can darken it, like you can um, duplicate the layer and it will be darkened, but it will be thicker as well. So yeah, that was a problem. I know it's kind of a boring to stretch one work in 3 streams, but yeah, it was really long work. Like, I couldn't finish it. I was thinking of making it into one, but no, too much work. And I think a lot of people, like, today I was scrolling on Twitter and found that someone was saying their kids and nephews and nieces wanted to make animation, but they just want to wait for the AI to be better so that they can just create with AI. The thing is, you don't create with AI, it's just AI creates for you. So for thing like this, like when you take so much time to do an animation as a beginner, you learn a lot through your mistakes, and those the things that you learn, it will stay with you for rest of your life. with AI, you wouldn't know anything about animation. You'll just type some words and they will, give you an output based on other people's work. It's so that's why I was so annoyed at the end of this practice that I was doing. Like, oh my god, it's so long and it's so hard. But at the same time, I was thinking it's such an experience that I learned so much and I could recognize my own mistakes. If you don't do that yourself, how are you going to find mistakes? Like, even you make it using AI, you won't be able to understand what mistakes you're doing or the AI has done for you if you don't learn the basic things. I know I mean, every time I try to do something new, obviously it won't be the best thing the first few times. Like, first, not few times, it's like first few 10 times, 20 times, it won't be the best things. But after that, of course, it will get better. It will get much better. So that's why I thought maybe sharing this video with people, they will understand why they need to practice and why horrible work also needs recognition, because these are your stepping stones. But I don't think a lot of people enjoy watching a video where I'm struggling with an animation. But still, I decided to post it because um, even if uh, they don't like this long form videos or these things, if one person watches it and thinks that yes, there's merit in these things, there's merit in learning, there's merit in making mistakes, I'm happy. To be honest, I'll be the happiest person if one person wants to learn, if one person feels this way, that the mistakes are part of learning. So that's in fact, to be honest, I am witnessing a particular kind of mindset where people just don't want to go through the learning phase and they just want an outcome, that's it. Like, everything is a product, and which is I think, in my opinion, is quite devastating and frustrating for me, but it's quite devastating for the future generations and for the creative process. If you think that art, animation, or anything related to that, these things are just a product, just an outcome, and you don't have to do anything for that. I mean, if you, first of all, the relying on machinery, like if all those AI stuff, like what was what was the name of that software? Stable Diffusion, OpenAI. I think Stable Diffusion is from OpenAI, right? Anyways, so these softwares, if they're down for a day or two, what will you do? Like, if for some unforeseen reason they just cannot let you use these softwares. I mean, I think there was one that you can download on your system. I don't remember which one. I don't use AI, so I don't know which one's what. But the point is, if your computer breaks, like somehow you get a broken computer, what will you do? You'll stop drawing, you'll stop animating. If you if you learn to do all these things by yourself, you just need a pencil and paper, to be honest. Like, I started animation, also my drawing, with my school books, school copy, how do you call it, like exercise books. I just took those pages, like last pages, and I used to doodle and I used to draw. One of the main things I do was eye, just one eye. It was like something that I liked. So a lot of things I drew, a lot of things. Small houses with a small road, small path coming out of it, and the tree behind, a bit of bushes, this kind of thing. So there's something precious in painting and drawing, you know. And if you're into animation, then in animating. But I have been witnessing a growing mentality where people are like, no, I'm not going to go through the process. I'll just get the outcome and that's it. Like, it's very product oriented, like something that is very much human, very much essence of humanity. People just treat these things as another consumable product. That's it. Like, what's the joy of an image if you're not even creating, you're just typing few words and that image comes out? Like, you're not painting, you're not thinking about the lighting, you're not thinking about the shadows or structure or composition, you're not doing any of those stuff. So what's the point of doing this? So that's why I thought maybe I should post this video so that people who feels frustrated or thinks that there's no point in animation and art, uh, they should not feel that way. That's all I'm saying. Like, they should not feel that there's no point in art and animation and all other stuff. Do it for the joy and do it for the, how should I put it? Like, if AI becomes the norm, then human made artwork will become very exotic. That word, I don't like that word, kind of, in this scenario. Um, it will become precious, valuable. But another thing, I would say that the reason all these mechanical things are taking over all this, I wouldn't say there's a spiritual, but more like intellectual and humani, oh god, I'm just now discover like inventing word, more how should I put it, like more human, more human. So the reason this is taking over, because people are losing their human spirit. Like, everything is product, everything is consumable. That's why they think like, okay, I don't need to learn anything. I don't need to do anything. I'll just have the product. But to be fair, even though while I was doing this, I really, really enjoyed it. It took a lot of time. Yes, that's the only complaint I have, because I'm Asian. Okay, I'm Asian. So my mom made me feel like time is always running out. That's kind of Asian parenting. So I always feel that. I always feel like the time is running out. So that's the only negative stuff. Otherwise, I loved it. I loved doing it. So here it is that I say so a lot of time, right? I wanted to get rid of the outline, so I kind of added a shadow wherever I needed a proper outline. And the thing is better to do the shades or the shadow, however you say it, separately for the static part of the body or static part of the animation, and separate from the animated part. The animated part should be completely different. So yeah. And I do apologize for the background noise. There's so much background noise. And I apologize for that. Should I turn the sound off? Hmm. There's so much background noise. I'm so sorry for the background noises. Anyways, another thing I did was I just gave it an extra shade, which I think is better to draw the shade if you're giving this kind of color difference um, on the animated part, which I didn't do. Generally, just like how I drew the shadow areas first before coloring them. It should have been drawn before, like an at least an outline, so that I would know how it's getting animated. But yeah, I was lazy. I didn't do it. So what I did, I painted one layer, then copied it, pasted it on the next layer, and changed based on the movement of the tail. So it is not the optimal solution, but it worked, especially because I ultimately blurred it all. So the movement did not look rigid because of the blurriness. If you kind of blur the shades, it won't look that bad. That's all I want to say. Okay, this is another thing that I did. Added a bit of light color, but initially it was a bit of a mistake because I added light color on the inner side of her hair, on her left side, my right side. Okay. And I it shouldn't be there because even though I did not mention all the direction of the hair, obviously the outer side would be much more in light, right? So yeah, I don't know why I shaded the jellyfish, because I was going to make it super shiny. And if it's just if super shiny jellyfish, none of the extra color shades, not the shadow color shades, would look good on it. Like, they will be kind of you won't be able to see with all that shiny light. That's all I'm saying. As for the background fishes, yeah, I kind of didn't want to do that. Also, I made some mistakes here. I did it twice because it was not working according to my choice. I was thinking of coloring the background fishes, like, giving multiple shades, but I was like, no, too much work, too much work. I'm not gonna do it. As for the background, obviously I kept the background at the very end, because it's just, you have to just color one one frame, and then copy paste it in the rest of the frame, because majority of background is not animated. Not majority, I mean this part is not animated at all. The animated part are all separated. Even in the background, if I want something animated at the background, I will keep it separate from the basic background. So this part was something I kept for later, like after animating everything, most of everything, then I started painting background. The only thing I animated after the background was all the bubbles, which was wrong, because when I was trying to animate the bubbles, I realized I can't see the previous or the next frame because of the background. So, and colors. So I had to again delete all the. I mean, it's fine you if you want to do it, but yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And initially I kind of copy pasted all the background and then started to animate the bubbles. Then I deleted rest of the background and animated the bubbles with blank background, so that I can turn on onion skinning. Yeah. So since I did not use any outline for the animation or the foreground, I, after coloring everything, I had to think a way so that I don't need outline for the background as well, which was tough. I ultimately actually gave up and I kept outline of the window, everything outside window. I kept all the outline, a bit blurry, but still I kept them. But in the now this is like I imagine the mermaid is an artist, or maybe she's a collector of human stuff. So that's why I kept like some human stuff around. The background noise is so annoying. I'll turn off the mic when I'm not talking, because then you don't have to listen to the background noise. It's so freaking annoying. Okay, so I started to block the outline again here because of my stupid mistake of foreground color blocking. It was a lot of work, but again, it was fun. One trick I learned is that you can just have a base color and then rest of the shades you can just use black color in overlay mode and use as all the different kind of shades. But I needed a bit of texture as well, so I added a bit of texture. But other than that, that's a good trick, using black color as um, shadows and have a bit of depth in the painting is great. Yeah, by now I was like, by this time I was like, oh, I need to finish it. And I don't know what I was thinking. I was doing it super fast and like, it's not worth it. This type of coloring is not worth it. Not the entire animation process, but this type of coloring. Because, yeah, I mean, if I wanted to have like a no border artwork, then I could have done that from the very beginning. But it started in the middle because I effed up my animation outline. Yeah, that was a lot of bad luck or my stupidity, whatever, however you say it. But yeah, I mean, next time I will think way ahead before I'm going to do something like that, because no way I'm gonna waste. I mean, I'm gonna, you know, fumble like this. Like, I'm gonna waste this level of time for my animation. So, yeah. Should I like have a stream, a mute stream, like where I'm not going to talk and just let it stream and I won't be there and just like that? I don't know if people will watch a mute stream where nobody's talking or saying anything, like telling any kind of stuff that I'm saying, like all the mistakes and all the problems, all that. Who knows? Maybe I should do one and see if anyone watches it. The thing is, even if anybody likes to watch, I wouldn't know, because I put poll on and a lot of people like overlook them, so I wouldn't know if people would watch a mute stream, but that would be great for me. This was all nice and good when I was doing the furniture, but oh boy, it was such a hassle when like I went to the skeleton. The skeleton, I mean the skull. The skull was a bit of a problem. Not a bit, a lot of a problem, to be honest. So yeah, I needed to change the bed color because of, I mean, the mermaid was all greenish bluish, the pillows are greenish bluish, and if the bed was greenish bluish or whatever, it would be like all same. Needed some variation. Again, all this stuff that I did, it wasn't necessary. If there was an outline, probably I didn't have to do all this. Who knows? I'll make other animation and then I'll check whether it is needed or not. Because if I keep the outline, there won't be this much level of hassle to create depth in the painting, because outline kind of tells you, I mean, separates one stuff to another, one part of the picture from another, which this thing doesn't do. Like this thing, yeah. So yeah. Here comes the skull. Yeah, everything just gone. When I, yeah, it was bad, and I should have known that all his crevices and the teeth, everything will be a bit. I mean, they will be kind of different from the outcome. Will be different from rest of the painting. So yeah, I don't know why I was like, oh no, why did I add the skull? And then I was like, okay, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, drawing this skull was really fun. Like, it's not exactly fun, it was just weird. I was at first I drew the skull from my memory, like how a skull would look, and then it looked like a cartoon cat or something. So I had to go online and look for the reference, and then I found multiple skull references, but they were not in the position that I wanted. So I was like, in this particular position, I want to look for a skull in this particular position. And then after looking for quite some time, I found one kind of like that, and then I just winged it. Like, okay, how bad could it be? There's just two holes, three holes basically, two eyes and one nose area, and then the teeth and all that. So yeah, and here it is the background where I did not get rid of the outline, because I when I just removed the outline, and it looked so bad, and I knew I'm not going to paint everything separately for the background, because by this time I was kind of done, because the animation was done, and the background was kind of lame for me. It looked quite lame. So I was like, I'm not going to give too much attention to the background, as I mean the outside of the window background, as much I want to give attention to the house, to the room. So yeah, I started experimenting what can make it better. Like, this was a rescue operation rather than uh, you know just painting a house. It was like, I have to make it better. I don't know how to make it. It looks so bad, so lame. So I just started randomly shading it, and I wanted actually a color a contrast, because the jellyfish was yellow and yellowish, and the light at the background was bluish. So there would be a kind of a contrast between two type of lights, and that's what kind of um, I was using that thought process. But also another thing I was missing was texture from the background. It looked like so smooth, like a plastic house, and I did not want that. I did not want a plastic house for my mermaid. So yeah, this is the part where I was just figuring out the color combo, the mood of the room, because obviously I didn't want the plain bland background, and it was a bit difficult to you know make things better for this background. This was such a lame background that I painted. Like, it was so bad, and I was thinking, what? How am I going to make it better? Nothing can make it better. Even the color schemes, changing color schemes, lights, shadows, whatever you do, it won't make it better. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, no, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that there has, I mean, generally, oh my god, now my thoughts are all scrambled. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, generally, if you give it a break when you're not doing well with your artwork, after that come back after some time, and then you check your artwork, probably you'll find a solution. Not always, but generally you'll find a solution. This took me a lot of time to kind of making it a bit tolerable from this horrible mess that I made. But yeah, adding some texture helped. Adding some, weirdly, I added some plants indoors, which I didn't want, because my first thought was I have to animate them. But then I was like, F it. I'm not going to animate them. I'm just gonna, add them and leave them there. And then I thought of, giving her an outline, but it looked really bad. Okay, so as for the shine parts, what I realized while animating is that you really don't have to think of anything while animating, because even if in the next frame those shiny dots fall in another place, except not on the place it was before, or if it's not kind of um, matched with other parts of the other frames, it still would look great, because that's how shine works. Like, it's random. Not, maybe not random, but to us, for human eyes, it's random. so it is not a big deal. And this is great. Like initially I had no idea how to add shine to her tail, but then I was like, okay, let's swing it, and I realized that you just have to randomly paint the part that you want shiny, and it would look fine because shines are kind of random as you move. Like when someone wears shiny dress, and like shiny, like this kind of shiny dress, and you'll see it's just it's spring, it's kind of how do what is that thing, twinkle, sprinkle, sparkle, whatever, like it sparkles very random way. So that kind of helped me doing this animation. And after I made the initial test case where I added all those sparkles on her tail, it looked fine, so I kept it. So here I'm animating the shiny part, which was a bit problematic when you're doing it with full background and you're doing a top color other colored object. So what generally I did was again copying the previous frame of the shine, then pasting it on the frame next to it, and kind of scrub through the frames and see if the movement was going okay. Because of course if you're doing a frame by frame animation, yeah, slightest of changes, it will actually show in the animation. I mean, I was surprised when I added water reflection in the animation. When it's just one frame, static frame, you won't be able to see the water reflection probably. But the moment it start animating, it's clear there's a water reflection, and it's kind of mm, extremely prominent. So that's the difference I noticed between just painting a scene and animating a scene. So like the properties kind of change when you're animating, in the sense that something that looks really vague or um, hardly visible on a static image, the moment you start animating, the moment it starts moving, oh my god, was it, what that was, what sound was that? I hope that firecrackers. Oh my god. Anyways, so as I was saying, mm, no, I don't live in a bad neighborhood, if anyone thinking that, but it's a weird bursting sound, so it could be tire or a firecracker. I just heard it somewhere outside, so it's, I don't know. Uh, I don't live in a bad neighborhood. I live in a bad world. I don't know, like it's, that's why I cannot trust, even if I live in a safe, in a really safe place. I don't know what's going on outside if I hear a noise like that. Anyways, so as I was saying, um, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, like yeah, about the animation, it yeah, if even if something looks really nice on a static image, if you're not careful, it will completely ruin the animation while you're animating. And here I'm adding some textures because it looked kind of empty, and the walls look kind of extremely smooth and plasticky, and yeah, I'm not interested, like I did not feel it looks good. So I wanted to add a bit of, foliage and all that, but then I thought, oh my god, if I add them, I might need to animate them. Then I was like, no, I won't do that. So adding a bit of texture, I think, and if changed the appearance. It did not do a lot good, but at least it kind of tolerable now. Not gonna lie, I don't like the bubbles, the way the bubbles move on her tail. That one I wasn't like thinking clearly, and I was like, okay, but I think I could have done better with the bubbles. Bubbles. So yeah, it was like I just needed some bubbles to, show that there's water, because one thing I felt while after even after doing the background was like it didn't feel like there's water. Like it feels like they're not underwater, they're above water. So that's why I added the bubbles and also the water reflection, because I thought maybe um, because of the lights of jellyfish and this sh- blue light, I don't know, like it's a shell light, whatever. It's a oyster pearl light, brought to you by Ocean Ink. Anyways, it's a oyster pearl light or something like that, and the jellyfish was there, but the jellyfish was kind of moving, so I would imagine they would have you know light reflection there underwater, probably, maybe not, maybe, I don't know. So I just added the light reflection there because of that. And but yeah, the animating light reflection was really difficult. Like there was no tutorial, there was no guidance how to do that, so I just looked at a pool light reflection, like light was reflecting on a pool and all that. I was just staring at it for like hours to figure out how to animate the reflection. Sorry, I'm just not as fast as a lot of people, but yeah, like I was like, okay. And the thing is that I could make it much slower, much slower, and much more, you know, poised. But I just wanted to do it in 12 frames, the light reflection animation, that is 12 frames. So I just did a 12 frame rough animation on a different file, and then I just brought in those, rough animation and put it on the background, like. And then of course I blurred it, I changed it, blending mode and all that. But apart from that, it was just extremely rough, right, light on water reflection animation, if that makes sense. So this is the basic of the animation. And yeah, then I decided to add a bit of, this is in animation, or it's in cartoon or anime, you'll see there's someone who's sleeping, there's a bubble coming out of their nose. It's just to show that how deeply they're sleeping, it's nothing else. So I decided to do that with the octopus. I don't know, I should have given her a name. What should I call her? Pink, Pinky, Pink, Pinky. No, that's weird name. Dumbo. I'll just call her Dumbo because of the Dumbo octopus. Actually, Dumbo Octopus was named after the cartoon character Dumbo because of his ears. But then again, yeah, Dumbo. So that's what I did with the Dumbo Octopus, or just Dumbo. Okay, so this is the rough water reflection that I made, and I just decided to add it on top of the characters because, of course, if there's reflection, it won't just be on the background but also on the characters because the jellyfish is in front of them. Maybe it would be much more on the mermaid than the octopus, but still, there will be some sort of light play is supposed to be, there's some sort of light play there, so that's why I decided to add them. And yeah, I mean, it's just something I made on a different file, different scene, how do you say it, and just add them on top of the characters. And of course I clip them to the characters so that they just don't go all around. So that's fine, and then blur them and change their um, blending mode to overlay. I suppose I did overlay. Yeah, I mean, and of course I needed to change the opacity of both background and foreground shine, water reflection, because foreground would be much more prominent than the background. Also, I had to kind of change the intensity of shine in the background in different areas and also in foreground, so that it kind of look a bit uneven rather than everywhere is evenly spreaded. It would look unnatural if it is spreaded evenly, because the lights are not evenly spreaded, so of course it shouldn't be even everywhere. So yeah, and I added a bit of shine to her hair, because I thought maybe because of the jellyfish, her hair would be much more shiny. So that's why I added the shine. Also, it looked nice with the darker, bluer contrast. So yeah, that's it. Finally, it's done, the entire thing, and I'm happy for that. I shouldn't have like be extremely adamant to finish it or upload it like this, but I have I've done it, so I thought why not I stream them. So yeah, this is basically it. Um, I could fix my work even more, like I could spend more time on it and fix it, but I was done with it. I After some times you just have to let it go. Like you can't keep on fixing it forever and ever. So that's why I was like, yeah, as much as I wanted to fix more stuff, add more stuff, I was like, no, this should be done here. So yeah. Of course, the amount of layers I needed, the amount of stuff I had to do was really a huge amount. Like it was really extremely hard work, but yeah, I like it. I liked doing it. So yeah. So the final is, I don't think anyone will be here that long, but still, I just want to share the final product. If anyone watches this 1 hour long stream, to be honest. So this is the final product that I meant. For a first timer, I will pardon myself. Like, yeah, I need more practice, but still I really like it. A few things I like, first of all, her tail. I absolutely love the color and the shine on her fin, and her hair, yeah, I really like. And one good thing I learned from it is the water reflection, as well as a lot of unnecessary work that I did, that I realized that I could avoid it if I just simply had outlined the animation. That's it. That's the only thing. So yeah, if you like this video, you just drop a like. I don't know, like add some engagement so more people can watch this stuff. Yeah, what else I can say? I hope you have a great day ahead and a good weekend. And if you like my animation, I will put it in a shop probably. I will start selling a digital product probably. So if I do, this will be in the shop, this animation, so you can use it as your I don't know, a stream background, wallpaper, whatever you want. So as long as you're not using it commercially, of course. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you have watched till the end, then drop a like. I'll appreciate it. Bye.